What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, I know it doesn't feel like it, but Avengers Endgame was released almost 3 years ago in 2019, and following that in the summer was the original announcement for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at San Diego Comic-Con 2019. I know, almost 3 years ago. Now, the rumors that followed in that fall were so crazy. The cameos, what the movie would focus on. We had a saying here at the channel that even if half of those characters cameoed, it'd be even crazier than Avengers Endgame. Well, we didn't know what was around the corner with Spider-Man No Way Home, but now here we are, 3 years later, a different director, a full rewrite, and a reshuffling of the Marvel Phase 4 slate, and the rumors are still in full force. A resurfacing rumor that indeed Tom Cruise would be playing a variant of Tony Stark. I'm going to go ahead and separate a little fact from fiction for you guys. There have been some confirmed rumors. We'll issue the normal spoiler warning. I'll talk about where this one originated, how it's a little bit different, and if there is any real truth to the possibility of seeing Tom Cruise as an MCU Tony Stark variant in the upcoming Multiverse of Madness. But first, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at this channel, and that's all we do. Everything from the official Easter egg breakdowns, interviews, and recaps, all the way to the anonymous 4chan plot leaks, industry insider scoops, and stories like we're covering today. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win the next PS5, which is right around the corner. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, we haven't issued an honest-to-God spoiler warning here at the channel in quite a while. It always goes like this. Remember to take anything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt. But in the past, sometimes it's the anonymous 4chan plot leaks, it's the rumors like we're covering today that end up being 100% correct. So, even with some plausible deniability, you know yourself if you're susceptible to this kind of thing, if it's going to ruin Multiverse of Madness, the future of Marvel Phase 4, your Doctor Strange experience. Only you know, I ain't mad at you, but you might want to back out now. 3, 2, 1, you've been warned. The rumor that's been going around here most recently in the last week or so is that Tom Cruise is going to show up briefly in Multiverse of Madness, 1 or 2 scenes in a cameo capacity, depowering Ultron bots that are under his control. The Ultron bots, of course, being an extension of him creating Ultron and being successful by staying in control, and that even he might be in a white costume that's meant to imply he's a version of the superior Iron Man. We'll talk about that in just a second. Now again, this is where the spoiler warning part of this video kicks in, and if you stick around, you're about to be the most caught up on what's going on in Multiverse of Madness. Now, this rumor stems from one of the original plot leaks that had some details right but popped up after some of this concept art had become available. It was not part of the original plot leak that seemed to be corroborated when we got some of that leaked concept art that talked about an original multiversal Illuminati that would see the likes of Patrick Stewart, Professor X, one of the returning Reed Richards from the previous Fantastic Four films, Baron Mordo as we saw in the trailer, maybe even the likes of a live-action Peggy Carter from the most recent What If series. And at the end of the trailer that they gave us, this initial Doctor Strange multiverse teaser, it seems like we saw Strange Supreme at the very end in the trailer there, or at least another variant of him. Now, this seemed to be corroborated by some of the concept art that we've seen, and in that concept art, there were Ultron bots included, perhaps under different control. Could it be this Tony Stark who, when I said we would get back to it, the superior Iron Man version is actually one of the darker timelines for Tony Stark? I'm not sure if they would plan to use that in the future, and this is kind of my point. We've had recent reports of Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine, and I don't think these guys are suiting up for a major action sequence. But it also really makes me scratch my head. Would these guys really just suit up for a couple of seconds on screen? If we see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, but not in action, literally standing there for a couple of seconds in one scene, well, that's going to be really frustrating. And while the reports of Wolverine returning have picked up a lot of merit here recently, especially with the confirmation from Hugh Jackman and Kevin Feige that they had met initially, even though the first and second, and it sounds like the third answer were no, it's important to note that Tom Cruise has been connected to the Iron Man role before. He was the preferred choice of the studio before, famously, the director Jon Favreau pushed for Robert Downey Jr. to take the role. That's why when this came up as what seems like an attachment to that as fan fiction and rumor, the original stemming is from that connection all the way back in the mid-2000s. And while Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is not a member of the Illuminati, Tony Stark, most definitely. And I could see, in lieu of not bringing Robert Downey Jr. back, if they truly have a multiversal Illuminati, if they want to have a Tony Stark on the council, Using a variant of him and someone like Tom Cruise, well, it would be fan service and or not ruining the Robert Downey Jr. sacrifice at the same time. I could see it. But I also don't see them doing cameos like this and then not using those characters at all, i.e. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, again on screen, finally the MCU, and no action, or a Tom Cruise variant of Tony Stark, which just leaves the door wide open for multiple questions, people wanting to see a storyline with him, and them never coming back to these characters. Perhaps the plan is to make it even crazier, the sandbox expanded in every direction, so that when we do get to Secret Wars, eventually down the road against Doctor Doom, I don't know, in what, 2028? 2030? I don't even want to think about how old I'll be by the time we get to that film. However, when we do get there, again, the sandbox will be so wide open that Hugh Jackman, Tom Cruise, Iron Man, all of them can come back against Doctor Doom and even outdo Avengers Endgame. At this point, I'm going to put all of these theories down and slowly back away from the keyboard. The point is we have had some confirmations of some absolutely crazy things to come in the Multiverse of Madness. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, a little less so than this Multiverse Illuminati. It's important to mention, though, that this Tom Cruise rumor is tied to far less serious stock. This one is really in the fringe. It's in the grain of salt rumor mill territory, where some of these other reports are almost more than confirmed at this point. But man, if they put Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in this film, two things. One, he better be wearing that yellow costume. He better be wearing the yellow costume, number one. Number two, if they put him in the yellow costume in a scene and we don't get to see him in action, I'm going to be so sad on the inside for life what could have been. And that's where my theory is like, okay, you tease all this now. We'll see you down the road. All right, enough. Again, I'm backing away from the computer. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. You always do anyway. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s, and we're doing it at every 20,000 subscribers instead of every 100 all the way up to 1 million. And then next month, in February, we're going to announce monthly prizes for you guys who watch every video anyway. It's just a better way to give back to you. Basically, in celebration as we run up to 1 million subscribers here at the channel. So if you want to be entered to win, all the same rules will always apply for all the giveaways, and it's super simple. All you have to do is be a subscriber here at the channel. As long as you are, leave a comment on this video. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners are chosen at random and then announced at the end of videos. The best way to keep up with the content is to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And as much as I'd appreciate you checking that out, I sincerely appreciate you checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon. And to those of you who have been rocking with me for what's crazy to say almost 4 years now as we push into 1 million subscribers, I really appreciate all y'all's support. I seriously can't thank you enough. It's an incredible thing to be able to share the MCU experience with you guys, and I'm really looking forward to Moon Knight. That show's like my most anticipated of the year, and the watch parties are going to be lit. All right, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow or later today, depending on how much time I have. The next video will be on the Hulk, the future of what's going on with him and She-Hulk, and then eventually the next World War Hulk movie. All right, peace.